Alright, alright. You know what, I'll give you this view instead. Alright, hello and welcome back to some TenkoBerry doing art. It's been quite some time since our last one. And you are not going to see the piece that I'm working on today. You probably wonder why. Well, I want it to be a surprise, but I did want to use companies for this one. And we can talk about the piece. You can talk about the piece, but you cannot see the piece. Alrighty, right. I have to decide what brush do I want to use. I can use 7 or I can use 5. 5 will take a lot longer. Now, it is doing art, so if the stream does DC, it's not my fault, it's just sometimes it likes to do that. It is very annoying when it does that. There we go. Yeah, not too bad at all. I might actually grab and keep that as a color. Alright. So, let us go and I'll just start cleaning up a lot of this piece now. It's more just a rough sketch that I'm doing now. I don't know if I want the arms inwards or outwards. I'll probably do outwards. I did draw them inwards originally, so I will fix that eventually. And just go like that. And let's just go around this side. Clean all that up. Don't really need that now. Oops. I keep forgetting about brush controls, I tell you. I know opacity and all that stuff is very useful, and I always keep forgetting to use it. Especially for blur and, or, you know, smudging. That stuff is like a dream. We'll have to clean up. I did have a colored background to it. That kind of just ended up being the worst decision. I was going to get rid of it before, but when I went to go rid of it, I forgot that I, you know, made that many layers. So trying to get rid of it would be very difficult with the scalpel tool. I like to call it the scalpel tool because it's very precision based. And I'm not very good at positions. Precision. I never say that word, I tell you. We do also have some Stream Cafe tulip season in the background on the now for you. I will probably show off the piece at the very end. But I did not want you to see the piece just yet. I know I normally like to show off, you know, from start to finish, but you know. Oh, hello there, Invis! Yeah, I know, time zones be, you know, terrible. It's actually almost 6 AM the time that I'm streaming this, so it's not really time zones, it's more like, you know. I just could not sleep though, I decided, you know what, I might as well stream. I had some willpower. And I'm just cleaning up the background of this piece now. Because I decided to go with a coloured background and that kind of just ruined the whole piece. 26,000. That's a lot now. That is a lot. If I made you a mod, it would give you infinite points. But if I made you a mod and then unmodded you, would it delete all your points? I always wondered that. Or would you just have the same amount of points that you normally do? Alright, I'll see you next time. And stay safe and remember to hydrate, Invis. Do I want the lake to come out a bit more, or... I might do. I'm trying to do, like, you know... It's very chicken leggy now. That's what I will say. It's very chicken leggy. It doesn't give infinite. Well, normally when you get a mod, I don't think you're modded. You're VIP. But when you're modded, you know, mods normally get like infinite amount of points, I think. Well, that's how I thought it worked. I get an infinite amount of, you know, points. Alright. I thought it did, you know, give you an infinite amount of points. Well, yeah. The lanes are gonna be so janky after me clearing out all of the, what's called, unwanted background piece of the colours. You know what, I might as well spoil what I'm working on. I got inspiration again to try and attempt doing another, you know, body test. And this one's going to be the 2.6 body test of Oaki Human, aka Meryl, aka me. Not me, but you know, me, TenkoBerry. Alright, well now that that's cleared up, back to getting ready for sleep. Alright, have a nice sleep and stay safe, alright? Remember to hydrate beforehand. The thing is, I would just click, you know, remove all of the, you know, pink. That's what we have for background. But because I did it from paint to MediBang, it messes up with the pink and changes it to be very annoying to remove. Unless you use a scalpel tool. Remind me to remove that bit there, the legs. I did do a basic shoe design, but I am not keeping that shoe design because, to be honest, I just kinda wanted, you know, it to look right, and then it does not look right. There's so much that you can do in paint. That's why I did, you know, early sketch, and then, you know, now we have this, and I'm cleaning up the early sketch. Well, this one's on the outside and not the leg, so it should be easier to clean up. I'm going to save so far. Yep, keep the transparency. It always likes to mess up my transparency. Also, we are PNG today because it's not. If I was, you know, using our 3D model, it would have just sucked up too much of the memory and caused the stream to DC. Doesn't actually, I don't think so, but you know, I was just that worried. Also, I do have a heater on, so it might get a bit heated, and then I might have to, turn off the heater. It's just very cold tonight. There we go. And if I go like that, upwards, downwards, across the elbow, that will be no longer elbow very soon, because I have to put an arm there now. Yeah. Not too bad, not too bad. So I'm just analysing the lines that I have so far. I have to fix up the, what do you call it, the lining between the booba section and the chest. Because I did rougher lines around that bit. Just because I did not know if it would fit properly. So I have like two different sizes, and then I need to fix, you know, what one's going to be which. And trying to get the hair proper, that's going to be worse. That's going to be the worst. Now that I'm thinking about it. I normally like to do, if you look at my PNG model, I like to do when it's open skin, to do a different, you know, color for the skin areas, and then do a different shade for the non-skin bit. But I don't know if I can do that with this one. I can see certain sections that would be darkened with shading, but it's a very hard, you know, what if? I think I'll probably start with the feet. I think that's what I'll do. I was thinking about just having, like, you know, open feet. But I think I might go with boots. Question is, how do I do open boots? Well, not open boots. Boots. That it would look nice. I'm doing what you call it, lace area. And I never realised how hard lace bits are. I think the idea is probably going to be I go with a brown and just colour it all in. And then worry about it later. Like rough shoes, that's what we'll do. And then go around the rim. Could do fine eyes. This one's gotta be very rusty. I need to relearn all of my techniques. Okay, that's not too bad. It's a terrible looking shoe, but I think with just a bit more to it, it would become a bit better. Plus, if I scrap that, and then grab that, and then do a line all across this bit here, I could smudge it. Was that a good idea? I don't know. I'm trying to do smudge stitching now. It is not going right. Just go like that. Yep. Go down a bit. Go like that. And back up. There we go. Fly touched my underarm there. Don't know where it came from. There we go. Kinda starting to look a little bit normal, but not really. Ah, hello there, Pie. Hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. We're doing some art now. You can't really see it now because I want it to be a surprise when we get to the end. So yeah, it is a little bit awkward, but you know. I just wanted to do a little surprise one after finishing it. Because this is a test for Oaki Human 2.6 body test. That meaning I will either use it for 2.6 of the Oaki Human that you see before you, or I'll use it as just a body test for when we make the 3.0. Problem is this, you know, it's not bad. Oop. I'm not very good at doing straight lines. They're always wiggly. This one's looking a little bit, you know, not the best. How you been, by the way? I just asked Aunt Lamel. Alright. I am doing alright so far. We're just doing some art now, and it's been alright so far. I've just been busy the last few days, so that's why there's not been a stream. I think I might go back in time. There we go. Just so that I can just do it from this bit instead of that bit there, because that bit's a little bit too awkward to try and put together. I was following the other line and that I had during the sketch. That kind of went off the rails. Remember, I'm doing this with mouse, so it's not the best. I laughed there and I almost just went flying. There we go. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. It does look a little bit chunky. Being busy always sucks, yeah. Definitely, definitely. I do also need to figure out how I'm going to do the, what you call it, arms on this piece, because I did the arms inwards instead of outwards, and now I have to fix that. So that's going to be a pain. And then if I rub that bit away, there we go. Looks like it was intentional. Definitely did not mess up the lines. If there is any weird and wacky lines, we will probably just finish, you know, up by cleaning those off. And go like that. And like that. Whew. You know what? I forgot to do the lining on the shoes. I'll probably keep some of the smudging that you see in the background of it, just because it, you know, it cracks me up. And also you can see the progress that we made during it. Okay, so that one's, you know, left to right, and this one will be right to left. There we go. And now we grab some of that, BRB, alright, no problem. We just wrap that around the bottom here. We grab that darker shade, wrap it around the bottom. And actually I could just fix that up. I don't really need it, you know, being smudged. Does kind of help with the aesthetic of it. Now we'll do the inside of the leg, the bit that I'm dreading. Why? Because, you know, I did the sketching lines, but you know, I will say the sketching lines probably got to take longer. Well, not sketching line. The sketching line took longer than this piece. I was looking at like so many different like inspiration ideas, and I just could not, for the life of me, try and get stuff to look right. That also goes for the knees, as you will see when we get there. I'm actually just fixing up the knees now as well. I should have made them larger, shouldn't I? These are quite large things, you know. I made these ones too small. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad at all. I did also want to attempt doing some doll joints, as Oaki Human is, you know, a wooden doll. Kinda made human, that's what I will say, kinda made human. Ah, I'm missing one bit of this leg here. There we go. Sorry, I'm just doing what do you call it, the thighs here. And the bits that curve up from the belly, from the thighs. There should be an extra line here. Where did that go? Ah, I must have accidentally rubbed it out. don't think I really need that backline, do I? Mark, this is where the, stomach and all that is. Well, the pants. Or, underwear region. Wherever people call it these days. Intestine region, that's what it is. Alright. Not too bad. I should definitely not make it that complicated because I do have to recolor all in. I never colored it fully in, but you know what I meant. I'm back, and I remembered that I forgot to brush my teeth. You know what, I've been there many times. Sometimes I even forget where I placed my toothbrush and then I cannot brush my teeth. Alright. Yeah, that shall do. Also, we did have dropped frames for the last 43 minutes. We've had dropped frame. No, wait, 30 minutes. But does that really matter? I'm not really showing anything, am I? If you think about it, I'm not really showing anything. Let me know, let me know. I'm also deciding where I put the legs. I can make it shorts. Or short. A few seconds ago. Why am I having dropped frames? What time are we at anyway? We're at 30 minutes. Let's see. I'll check my internet speed. Yep. It is just in general. I got distracted and I started doing a little bit of the skin. Oh boy, she hit the 30 Alright. Hopefully that is all cleaned up. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. It will require a lot more shading though. Let me fix this knee over here. You know what, I should not be doing this, I should be working on the actual full piece, lining properly first. But I might as well get a little bit of skin done so I know what direction I'm going in. And dropped frames again. That way, whenever I do art, luckily it should not matter. Audio should just work the same, hopefully. And plus, you're not really seeing too much the now. But I think I might end stream and restart it in a little bit before I show off the piece. Just make sure everything's working alright and swap my, what do you call it, dongle around so that it works properly. sneeze. I did do like basic colouring for like certain sections, so I would have a little bit of, you know, pieces to take from and choose what actual colours I would like. So at least that was a plus. But for skin I basically picked, you know, the bare bones of what we already use. Not the exact colouring, but you know, it's near enough. That's what I'll say. And I was wondering what that was on my screen. It was just a dirt mark. I thought, oh, that's not colouring in. No, it's just a dirt mark. Oh, we hit, you know, we've hit another one. A few seconds ago we just hit another dropped frames. 2 minutes before that we also hit another dropped frames. Yeah, that's a neat done there. I do kind of feel like that bit there should be fixed. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad at all. And I should really mark where I want, you know, the thigh highs to go to. So there, and we'll make it go over there. Not bad, not bad at all. I made one go down a little slightly bit. Not gonna lie, I feel like it isn't bad when you drop frames. You're not showing anything except a photo. Hey. You know what, that is a big plus. Though when I'm speaking, you know, my PNG model's not gonna match my mouth sometimes. But that does not really matter. What do you call... Is it a thigh crease? What do you call it? So I'm looking at thighs now. Medial. It's a medial thigh bit. And glute? Alright, let's see. Yeah, that should probably be better. I could make it go roundish, but I'll probably just go with straight line, you know, angle. Just because I make it a little bit better. Again, ping is just 2 photos in this case. There isn't much of an issue. Yay. We'll just do that. That is the same color, right? And it's just the surrounding next is a little bit dark. That's a problem. Is that a different colour I picked here? Ah, that one's more on the orange and that one's more on the red. Poop. I was wondering why it was looking a little bit too dark. Explains, you know, why it was not looking proper. Do I really need shade in the thigh? I don't think I'd need to do shade in the thigh. Does not really matter. I was just thinking, like, do I shade it? But then I could always just shade it in the future. And I'm trying to make sure putting all of the other bits of colour out. If you want shading, then you can do it. Hey, I might do shade in there, but it's very, you know, I don't think it would be very necessary. Just where it is. Because it would just be in the inner thigh area, and I already have it on the outer thigh. And because it's on the outer thigh, the light hitting there would, I guess it would kind of make sense. There's another leg in front of it, but that's really all that would really, you know, count towards it. And then I could actually start with if that is that, and then if I do blue, is that a nice blue? Yeah, I think that's a nice blue. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it to my, you know, regular dungaree outfit design. So that's why I'm using blue now. I'm doing the dungarees. I've done partially the upper leg, the knee, and I've not done the, you know, below leg, because that's where the thighs are gotta be, and then I do have a bit below the knee that I need to do. I do want it to be, you know, dull jointed kind of styled. But for the arms, I don't know. I'm not very good at doing arm joints. Just being honest. Oh, I laughed there and I just went over the line. No. There we go. And I have free reign to just colour this all in and then shade it later. I just have to fix the corners. There we go. Not gonna lie, I've been playing Roblox most of the day. Oh, most of today. You know what, it is pretty good. Went to work, came home, then Roblox. You know, the duality of humans. Work so that you could play a game. That being Roblox. It's also not in the best, you know, waters now, Roblox. I'm going to cancel a subscription that I have for Roblox. You know, one, it's not really worth it, and two, I don't know if the game will even be around, and I do not want it to keep on paying, you know, their websites down or something. And then you can never end the subscription. And it just goes to some guy in the Caribbean for ages. Yeah, the CO is messed up, yeah. Well, if you run, you know, a child game like that, you know, it's pretty obvious that they're probably not in their right mind. I'm talking about how crazy Roblox is. No, I did it more further up, around here. There we go. And then I do also have to do all of this blue. What's your opinion on butt fangs? Have you ever heard of butt fangs before? I was just working around this area of, you know, the body, the pelvic area, and I was just thinking, like, why are butt fangs so popular? You've not heard of butt fangs? It's, see your cheeks. They hang lower than your, what you call it, pelvic bit, and you can see a little tiny fang bit underneath. You can look it up, you know, if you want. But, you know, you get, like, you know, the description of what it is better that way. But butt fangs are basically a little, you know, it's your butt cheeks, but it makes a little fang shape, little V shape. Basically, you have to have a fang gap to see it. If you don't, then you're probably not going to see it. Not all people have it, but you know, it is interesting. Also, it's very popular. Ooh. Hey Pi, if you were a VTuber, would you be a pie? I just imagine as a 1920s cartoon pie. I don't know why. I can see that, and it cracks me up. I'm talking about the cartoon style from the 1920s. I'd be a Fennec VTuber. Ah yes, and you'll have like a redeem that makes your ears stretch out across the screen. I've seen like a few, what do you call it, people who have that. No, it really cracks me up. You know, you can't see the game, their ears are just, you know, over the entire gameplay, and it's just hilarious. It really is. I like that we got the lining. I would say most of the lining, because I had to go over the lining again. Most of the lining done. I was like, yeah, this is going well, and then I look up and then I forgot to have half of the body done and half of the body still to go. I've just been too distracted from doing the legs. Sorry, I got very quiet there. I do really need to fix my redeems. I need to decide on what I want to do for redeems and all that. Sometimes it's easy and then sometimes it's just very difficult. Sorry, I need to check up something. Sorry, I was just checking some stuff there. I need to stream, I'm bored. If you want to stream, you know you could stream. I do really need to get, what do you call it? Game night started back up. We did one game night and I've not done a single one after that. And I do feel bad, you know. I wanted to do more of it. Do we really need that bit now? Not really. We'll fix that lane actually. Ah. But hopefully, you know, you do get some rest as well. Maybe, you know, have some lemon tea. Oh, have you tried putting a banana peel in boiling water? That's just how you get banana tea. It is good for vitamins, if you want to try it. You do strain it, you do not drink the banana with it though. It just gives you a nice smelling tea. Let me check PC heat. It's warm but not hot. I was just making sure. So I know when to turn off my heater and when, you know, to keep it on. It is now 6:36 a.m. We have not done a stream like this in a little while, have we? Like the good old days. Dang, it's early for you. Yes, I woke up at like 4 a.m. and just could not sleep. Also, I've had 10 frame drops in the last, while. It just keeps piling up. I think I can just get rid of these bits here. If I do this, across the very top, why is it looking more like yoga pants? It does look more like yoga pants. I'm just doing what do you call it, rims of stuff for now. And then I'll finish off the leg bit. And then do that. And then go like that. We're actually not doing too bad here. What could we talk about? Well, I'm currently just putting dark blue and, a dark blue together to create the kind of rim bit that you see on like jeans and stuff. And then I should create a bit going down the sides. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, not too bad. I just need to figure out how to, put all of this bit in the top. I don't know if I do the dark line alongside the bit going down, or would it be too much? Yeah, a bit too much. Could use them as pockets. Yeah, not too bad. Right now I'm playing Project Lazarusum, playing a zombie game in Roblox. Oh, pretty cool. How well is it? Is it going alright? I really want to play some more, what do you call it? It's something Ryzen 2. It's Ryzen 2 something. A zombie survival open world kind of game. I want to play that again, but I want to get like, you know, a bunch of players and then build like a clan. And then we just go to different servers just to chill and play around and I feel like that'd be quite fun. Also, yes, the music did end, so it must have passed the 1 hour mark. Yep, I knew it. Let me turn off my heater. It's been on for an hour. Do not want it on too much longer. Why did I sound like, you know, Bane? Fight me, Dave.